I'm just waiting for y'all to come in here. We're gonna start in a second. 5 reasons why I personally, you know what I'm saying? 5 reasons why I personally. Okay, let's get into it. 5 reasons why I support Donald Trump. Top 5. And I feel like if you got a problem with these 5, something wrong with you. For real. The most important things that matter to everybody, not just like a certain group of people, not just like special privileges and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like shit that matter. All right, boom. So there we go. We gonna get right into it. All right, thank y'all for tuning in. It's been a while since I went live, especially on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? I be going live on Twitch and Kick and shit, but not on Facebook like that. But thank y'all for tuning in. You feel me? You know, on this live, I be, I don't know, it just I be seeing a lot that go on our social media, so I feel like I just, just talk about it here instead of like really getting active with people in the comment sections. You feel me? So I just start doing it this way, where a lot of people I've been called plenty of times a motherfucker who I'm black and Puerto Rican. You feel me? They like, why the fuck do you support Trump? Like, why do you support him? You look like a clown. You look like an idiot. You look like a fool for supporting Trump. Like, and I feel like, I mean, people entitled to their own opinions. That's cool. That's cool. But see, I actually respect the fact that people entitled to their own opinions. But at the end of the day, like, if I don't feel like the things that you worried about matter to me, and I feel like I got different reasons why I support the way I support, that, because to me that matters. Like, how you mad at that? Like, you can't be mad. But I would be cussed out, all types of coons and all this. You know, people be disrespectful for real because they just be, I don't know. But I'm gonna say like this: as somebody that voted for Trump, I have a problem with minority Republicans and minority Democrats, both of them. If I could just really just state my case and how I feel. I feel like minority Democrats play the victim too much. Anything about race. To me personally, I feel like I can't even have a conversation with a person and they bring up race. Like, I'm literally gonna shut down mentally because it's like it's victim mind state. I hate that. You can't. I don't. That's like weak minded to me, and I'm not like a weak minded person. So, like, I'm the type of person where I never got opportunities afforded to me. I had to always try to make my own opportunities. So I can't get with the feeling sorry for yourself mentality. And the reason why I don't rock with too many of the minority Republicans is because pretty much, like, at some point people get blind and they start forgiving for the past and forgiving people for what they did to our ancestors, and they start like nah, it ain't, you know what I'm saying, like, it don't matter, all that shit in the past, move forward, forget about. No, you can't never forget about what the hell they done happened and what they did. And I promise you I wouldn't tell nobody to forget that. Yes, I vote for Trump. Yes, I support Trump, but I'm not gonna be sitting here loving the, like, they, just absolved of everything. No, yeah, like, nah, that's not happening. Still remember, you feel me, what happened. But at the end of the day, you ain't got to be a victim. That's just my standpoint. I'm like in the middle, for real. So you can consider me a moderate. You get what I'm saying? Which we don't got too many of them. But first reason why I want to, you know what I'm saying, why I support Trump is tariffs and taxes. Obviously. You get what I'm saying? Obviously. That's what we gonna go with, and we gonna support that for real. Yes, sir. We need that. We need that. You feel me? America has 36 trillion in debt as of January 29, 2025. Debt made by domestic and foreign investors. 79% of that debt is for us to pay back. That's why if y'all would have voted Kamala and all them, man, taxes would have shot up even more, and that's how we would have had to pay that debt. You get what I'm saying? We had to pay that debt down. So what the terrorists do, as a company, because America is a company, but as a company that was shelling out millions and billions and damn near trillions of dollars to foreign entities and foreign countries. So, like, now we're getting money. You get what I'm saying? Excuse me, y'all. My lips got a little chapped. You feel? But now the taxes and the tariffs is going to bring money into the American economy and jobs, because other companies got to move their businesses into America, on top of the fact that we don't have to pay no taxes. After, if we could do this and it works successfully, we won't have to pay taxes. So we won't get no income tax. I know a lot of you probably mad that you probably ain't gonna get your little 7,000, your little 10,000 a year of money that they've been taking from you in the first place. But what that actually means is if you make 50,000 a year, now you will get a 30% raise, which means you get like you go from like 50,000 to damn near $80,000 a year already. So you ain't gonna need that because your pay gonna go up. And they ain't gonna be taking your money, so you gonna really get to save that. On top of the fact that he made it sure that people who work can get food stamps and assistance, man, shit, we need that. Stop playing. Y'all niggas is tripping. Y'all is tripping. For real, for real. So yeah, let me get into this video real quick of, pretty much Trump speaking on what he gonna do with these tariffs. Hold on. Jeez, hold on, let me pull it up. There we go. Damn, hold on, it ain't coming. Shit. I can't even get to it. Fuck. Oh well, I'll pull this one up. Oh, here we go. Here go the one I wanted.
They stole our companies. They stole our product. She said no tax on it. How about just no tax? You could do that. If the tariffs work out like I think, a thing like that could happen if you want to know the truth. Years ago, 1870 to 1913, we didn't have an income tax. What we had is tariffs, where foreign countries came in and they stole our jobs, they stole our companies, they stole our product, they ripped us off. And, they used to do numbers, and then we went to a tariff system, and the tariff system made so much money. It was when we were the richest, from 1870 to 1913. Then we brilliantly came in with an income tax. No, we don't want others to pay. Let's have our people pay. And then you had the Depression in 1928, 1929. I call it 1929. That was a bad time, but you didn't have tariffs, and you had tariffs that ended in 1913. But it was the richest our country ever was. That was President McKinley. In fact, we're renaming the mountain, Mount McKinley in Alaska.
All right, so that's the video I wanted to show y'all first, but we go just so y'all can see what that debt to ratio look like. That debt crazy for real. This is the actual what the debt look like. Y'all see them numbers? That's the national debt. 36 trillion dollars, man. Jesus. 36 trillion. How the hell we get there? And we struggling. But yeah, that's the first reason why I want I support Trump. You feel me? Let's get rid of this taxes and then let's get rid of these and charge these tariffs on these other people. You know what I'm saying? So we could get some more businesses and jobs. Thank God, cause I'm gonna get to the illegals. I don't even care about them for real, cause they already handling them. But at the end of the day, F them. I pretty much got a different type of understanding as far as to why, America is a country of immigration, but why they pretty much, I don't know, it's the history of like black people in the all the towns that they've bombed, flooded, destroyed, over 60, 70 towns because they don't want, black people to build their own wealth. Like, because everywhere black people...
Bluetooth disconnected. Bluetooth connected.
Damn. Everywhere black people went, they was able to build their own wealth. Like, I know a lot of people think Jim Crow was a bad time, and yes, it was bad. But one thing it did do was black people within its own self and its own community was the strongest. They had their own hospitals, their own movie theaters, they own schools, they own education system, they own airports, the marriages was at 80%. You get what I'm saying? It's like on their own, they pretty much always profited and prospered on their own. And they pretty much, ever since I would say 1964, when they did the Immigration Act, they allowed not the Immigration Act, where they pretty much, the Immigration Act that Lyndon B. Johnson allowed the immigrants to come into America, the Chinese immigrants, and the Chinese immigrants pretty much was afforded businesses to become business loans, but they wasn't able to get them in white places. They had the white areas. They had to only start their businesses in black areas, and how they pretty much use minorities to take away and extract wealth from the black community. So that's a deeper conversation, a whole nother topic for a whole nother lesson for other people to learn. But because there's a lot of people that really don't understand this type of stuff. They just think, I don't know. People don't know. They just listen to what I don't know. They don't do no research. Anyway, so that's why I prefer the tariffs over taxes. You get what I'm saying? American people need a break. They need the taxes take at least close to half of your yearly income. Taxes alone. So if you don't want that money back, something wrong with you. Anyway, second reason, make America healthy again. You get what I'm saying? Make America healthy again. Before I get into this, you know what I'm saying? I got to take me a little break real quick. I'll be right back in a second, y'all. Hold on.
Go tell the cops. I bet you don't get no murder.
Made it out the slums, you a slumlord. New
Waukesha take off on a flight. slimy and muddy, that's just what I like. I be sipping on mud.
All right, boom. We back, right? So, back into it. Second reason is make America healthy again. As you can see, 129 million Americans have chronic disease, ranging from heart disease, cancer, stroke, diabetes, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, and I just feel like like how do you not want, like, we all clearly know that the food in America is fucking trash, it's terrible. It's probably like it's just GMO down, it's processed, it's not even probably real meat. They probably, I don't know, I done been seeing 3D artificial printing. Like I done actually ran into like I don't know, weird looking eggs, fake fruit. Like it's just weird. Like the food just weird. And you clearly know, like, we getting sicker we getting sicker, bro. Like, you can't really find healthy food. All the good food that's good for you ain't really good for you. Like, it's so much. Like, how could you not be with being healthy as a nation of people? Think about your kids. You gotta feed your children this food. Like, y'all don't care about that. Like, on top of the fact that you know that come on, man. Come on, man. Believe it or not, it's a lot of things that's coming. Like, y'all didn't see the actual symptoms that recently just came out about the symptoms that come with that, getting that. And they're making people, everybody want to scream, my body, my choice, but their body and their choice didn't matter when it came to getting that. People lost their livelihood. They lost their jobs because they didn't want to take it, or they took it. Part of that, I'm not even gonna speak on what all really, you know what I'm saying? No, because I'm not gonna speak on all the side effects, because it could put people in places where they really don't realize, where like they might actually have lawsuits out here in this world due to getting that. But within the past 5 years of things that possibly could be, come on, man, I ain't trying to anyway. But yeah, like, how could you be against being healthy? Like, that don't make sense to me. So I'm definitely rocking with RFK. And the way they did that, man, at that, what you call it, at his hearing, at his confirmed, whatever you confirming. The way they did that, man, come on, man, just for trying to be healthy. That's because them people know that I'm talking about. They know that they was motherfucking wrong for that, and they got them trying to hide that. But anyway, it's not a conspiracy theory because it's already been proven true. Like, you can find the information yourself that all of that was fake. Even Dr. Fauci sitting there second, like, backbiting off of what he actually said. Now they all backpedaling like, nah, they ain't had, nah, that's okay. They don't want him to figure it out because he already know. But let's listen to what he had to say.
In my advocacy, I've often
How the hell could y'all be mad at that? How the hell could y'all be mad at that shit? You don't want to be healthier. You don't want to be better. You don't want the better way of living, better food. Y'all tripping, man. That is crazy. Like I said, about 129 million people in the U.S. have at least one chronic disease. About half of all adults have a chronic condition. About 12% of people have at least 5 chronic conditions. The number of people with chronic conditions, with chronic diseases, is expected to increase. This is a real serious issue that we have going on, and I don't even think people really understand it. This is like this is important. Not none of them other reasons of colorism, transgenderism, whatever, none of them other isms. But health. That's 2. Tariffs on taxes and being healthy. 2 reasons why I support Trump. Now we go on to number 3. Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Now this is just foreign countries that we just give money to. This ain't got nothing to do with no initiatives. No, we just giving these people money. As you can see, I couldn't put the I couldn't put the actual names because that'd been too many characters. So I put the flag. You get what I'm saying? But we shelling out all this money yearly, tax dollars yearly. You can see why we in debt. We giving all our money away, and we ain't getting nothing. Nothing. We protecting these other countries with our military. They not giving us. They tax the same way that y'all mad because we want to charge tariffs on them. They charging tariffs on us now. But we giving them all this money. All this motherfucker. Come on, man. Y'all tripping. Y'all tripping, man. Y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. Let's hear Trump talk about what Doge has been doing. And then we about to get into the real nitty-gritty stuff.
We're talking about get paid, but Doge, I think great progress has been made. We're talking about cutting over $1 trillion of waste. We're talking about waste. We're not talking about we're going to love and cherish Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. We're not going to do anything with that other than if we can find some abuse or waste, we'll do something, but the people won't be affected. It'll only be more effective and better. And our country, as our country gets richer, the people on Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, those people are going to be more secure. If Biden had gotten elected, Social Security was going to fail because the country was failing. It was going to fail. The country was going to fail. Get paid. But Doge, I think great progress has been made. We're talking about cutting.
Cutting over $1 trillion of waste. This is part of the waste. All this right here. That's part of the waste. That's the trash. He ain't finna be touching none of benefits for the Americans, none of that, all that shit y'all scared about, that none of that's going up. None of the whatever y'all talking about, Social Security, Medicare, all that, that's not happening. Is this unnecessary? Y'all know we was giving, which one of them? Israel condoms. It was giving them money for condoms in Israel or some shit. Come on, really? We really paying for these niggas to have safe sex, and we don't, and we got an abortion thing, like we pushing for abortion, but we want Israel to have safe sex. That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, we got our itinerary fucked up. You feel me? Like, this is woo. Oh man. Oh man, and then we got one of the worst. We about to get into the next one. We got one of the worst ones. Oh, hold on, wait. Speaking of, before we even get to that, we also got fucking espionage within the fucking federal government. Selling America to fucking China for real. Watch this. Watch this motherfucking shit here. Hold on. Watch this.
Why do we want to, is there a national purpose in encouraging Americans to invest in Chinese equities that you're aware of? Because I'm not.
Well, I mean, in general, I think the view has been that both inward and outward investment are economically beneficial. There certainly
I'll want to
be
move on to
cases-
another issue,
there
but
can be cases
encouraging the building of the Chinese economy is not thought by most members of Congress to be a good use of federal funds.
All right, so this lady, what did it say? Hold on. Those that just gain access to the U.S. Treasury system, this is going to be insane. The previous Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, was bribed by Wall Street, making over $7 million in speaking fees. She also openly worked to use U.S. taxpayer funds to build China's economy. Janet Yellen encourages using federal funds for the building of the Chinese economy. Who is these people working for? I think it's very clear. Yes, that's true. There is something going on with these people with the government in China. Because if y'all don't know, today, I woke up, and I've been waiting to talk to y'all about this shit, but I woke up to the secretary. Well, hold on, let me pull it up because I posted it. Let me go to it real quick. Now, I actually went and did the research. I'm going to let this dude tell it. But I actually did the research on this. I found this. This is the actual United States District Court indictment. Let me let him explain it to y'all real quick.
We just had a pretty critical arrest, if you understand the Federal Reserve System. Former Federal Reserve advisor arrested for passing trade secrets to China, Justice Department says. So an hour ago, a former...
Hold on. Y'all ain't even hear what the fuck I was saying. Anyway, I was saying, yeah, this dude, yeah. You feel me? I woke up to this. I did the research. I found he didn't give. He just gave us the name and he read the document. So I just went and looked up who the dude was and I found his document. And I actually went on the government website and it actually was posted literally on the 29th of January. So this dude just got arrested yesterday.
Senior advisor to the Federal Reserve, John Harold Rogers, was arrested on charges he conspired to steal Fed trade secrets for the benefit of the People's Republic of China, the Justice Department announced Friday. Rogers, who worked as a senior advisor in the Fed's Division on International Finance from 2010 until 2021, allegedly shared confidential information with Chinese co-conspirators. He is charged with conspiracy to commit economic espionage and with making false statements. Now, I'm here to tell you, China is the largest espionage ring. They might even be beating the United States as far as stealing trade secrets. I think we're going to see a lot more arrests of co-conspirators with China within the U.S. governmental system. It's a big deal to sell trade secrets for the Federal Reserve because then they can use technology that was developed by us to outmaneuver us on global monetary policy. Guy needs to be locked away for the rest of his life for arming our most important financial adversary with information against the United States to where they could outmaneuver us on fiscal, global trade and governance. Throw away the key forever.
See, these people really selling us out to China. And this is just so y'all can see, this is really, like, this really happening. This ain't, this actually is indictment. It was a grand jury sworn in on it on August 2024. Conspiracy to commit espionage. And then you go to the Department, the United States Attorney's Office. They just posted this Friday, January 31st, 2025. Like, this is really for charges of economic espionage. This is a United States Attorney's Office. This is a government website. This is not a .com. This is a government website. Former senior advisor of the Federal Reserve indicted on charges of economic espionage. Friday, January 31st, 2025. A lot of people they ain't understanding why they push it so hard to be all this whatever. I don't be watching the media. I be doing the research. I see on social media people be talking about all type of outlandish shit. So I just go and I do my research and I be finding out shit they talking about don't even be about nothing for real. But it really be some shit that really be going on that they trying to cover up, and that's the type of shit I be finding. You get what I'm saying? Now, let's get into that. That's the third reason. Let's get to the fourth reason why I support Donald Trump. And this is, I'm going to go. child trafficking in the United States of America. 300,000 children, almost 400,000 children was reported missing by the FBI in 2023. Now, I've been following this child trafficking thing since about 2022 because it was like the first time that I heard of this, it was 30,000 children that went missing. And I ain't gonna lie, back then I thought like they was trafficking them in them containers and them shipping containers, and then like I started seeing videos of how them shipping containers be falling in the water and like on the transit. Like, man, I've been following this child trafficking stuff for a long time. This child trafficking stuff is serious. This is like other than the economy, this is number one of the biggest problems in America. Why I support Trump, because he is against everybody that's involved in this. But a lot of people don't understand they don't know about the child trafficking. They don't understand that a thing wouldn't be a thing if it wasn't a thing. When you understand business, you understand a thing is only worth what somebody is willing to pay. So if Frito-Lay, if Don Julio and Popeyes do a collab, and that sells out and it becomes the number one selling wanted product, then guess what? It's just gonna be there. They're gonna always sell it. It's gonna be a regular thing. It's just like anything else. If people are buying children, it's gonna be a thing. And it's a real thing in this country. Now let me go to this video so y'all can really see what's going on.
On vacation.
A CIA contractor recently got caught trafficking children. First of all, hold on. Before I even play this one, let me play this one first. Dang, hold on. Damn, I just had it. Hold on. Dang, what if... Hold on, let me find it real quick, y'all. Here we go.
My name is Tara Rodas, and thanks to the bravery of Aaron Stevenson, and thanks to Project Veritas and James O'Keefe for publishing the story, I was sitting on the Pomona Fairplex emergency intake site processing unaccompanied children. So you may know that children were coming to this country from other countries. We were taking them into the care, HHS, and then delivering them to sponsors, unvetted sponsors throughout the United States. So because one whistleblower came forward and because one organization was willing to tell the truth, I was able to then uncover and report that the U.S. government is the middleman in a large-scale, multi-billion-dollar child trafficking operation. We literally have government-sponsored, taxpayer-funded child trafficking. So one whistleblower coming forward, telling the truth, sets in motion a cascade of things that you could never imagine. So I was very grateful for the opportunity for someone to tell the truth. And who knows, maybe one of you could be the next person to come forward. So along with my buddy Aaron, I'm going to continue to speak the truth until children are rescued, criminals are prosecuted, and the United States government no longer is putting billions of dollars to traffic children.
All right. All right. See, so that, like, believe it or not, y'all, it's really a real serious problem. Like, it's not hard to believe, like, that it's people that are depraved and I don't know. I'm a conspiracy theorist, so I go down through rabbit holes of this type of stuff. And it's like the stories you find, like it be so heart-wrenching that if you can't be human if you try to just overlook it and act like it ain't really going on. When it's so many people that's coming out and telling you that this is happening. It's been going on for years, decades, generations probably.
My dad killed babies, and we help him kill babies because our dad forces us to.
Okay.
But we never killed babies, never. Never on our own, never. He's the boss of the whole religion, the whole culture. He's the boss.
And what's this religion called?
It's not called nothing.
It's not called nothing?
No, we eat babies, we kill them. Me and my sister were touching each other. My dad tells us to touch each other in the privates.
So you
But my dad made us do it and he forced us.
Okay.
But my mum doesn't do it.
No? Okay.
So my family doesn't do it, only my father does it.
Okay.
They touch me in the privates, they tell me to lick the privates.
Who says that?
My dad's, the teachers, everybody's. In the morning, it's like school time.
Yeah, okay.
Instead of lessons, instead of literacy, numeracy, science, we had sex party and we ate babies. And my dad, he lied to my mum about being vegan. My dad killed babies.
Now, if you think, man, I think that child he just made that up, right? Now, I'm not saying, I don't know if it's true what he's saying. I'm just saying, when you go down these little rabbit holes, you'll be a fool if you was to see this and be like, nah, I don't believe that. Like, this a child. Like, I tend to believe children. I'm sorry. But I'm going to believe children. And apparently nobody's talking about, I don't even want to talk about it either, because ain't nobody, my channel about to get banned for real. This Israeli dude who got, he pretty much is like a high power or Israeli guy from Israel who was caught, like a gang leader or something, who was caught in like he run a big child, you know.
You know, the thing that people don't in this country understand is that the Ukrainian military is selling about half of the arms they get from the United States into international black markets, and they're winding up in some cases with the drug cartels in Latin America. That's a fact. Okay, it's a fact, and you can buy them. And I spoke to someone who did buy some, actually, so I know this is a fact, and they're bragging about it. So they're selling conventional weapons, including weapon systems that are very dangerous and very destabilizing, that would make commercial air travel impossible, for example. And so what are they doing with the pathogens in those biolabs? And does the Biden administration have a manifest? Do they know exactly what's in those labs? And will they turn it over to the Trump administration so we can keep track of these things? And the answer is no, actually. The answer is no. I know this.
Wow.
So that's like the scariest thing that's ever happened. I think the Ukraine war has the potential to destabilize the world more than anything that's happened in my lifetime. What the hell? So that's why I'm saying this right now, because I hope this is widely disseminated, because I think it's like the scariest thing I've heard in a long, long time.
And it's crazy because I ain't even get to the video that I wanted, the two I wanted, like where they really explaining how the CIA and all the government really is involved. And like it's a thing, bro. It's a thing. Here we go. This it right here.
You said that you were on vacation, and now you're moving.
What it say? It say, remember when Alex Jones accused the CIA of human trafficking? A CIA contractor was recently caught trafficking children through an airport at 5 a.m.
This small child to the airport. I thought you were on vacation. Ma'am, I thought you were on vacation. What happened to that? Do you have any comment about children that have gone missing that you've helped to escort across the country? Excuse me, is this MDM? No. We have footage here that a lot of these children don't know the sponsors that they are going to. What's going on? There's kids in the car here. They're moving these kids. They just turned the lights off. This is the MVM headquarters that we are currently at. There are kids in this van right here that they are moving. There's somebody that's going to come out. Let's see what they have to say. Hey, are you a manager here? Hey, we've spoken to some of these children, and they tell us that they don't know a lot of times the sponsors that they're going to. Do you have any comment on that at all? No, I don't. This is MVM, correct? I'm not sure. You're not sure? Excuse me. What's going on here? There they go. And notice they got out of here in such a hurry that they just left their bags here. Think about that. They got out of here. We don't even know what's in those bags. They just left them there and they took off in the van in such a hurry because that's how secret this operation is. They do not want you to know what is going on. That van that we just confronted, they are now taking off. We are following them. We believe that they're taking these kids to the airport. We have talked to some of these children that you guys escort, and some of these children have told us that their friends don't know the sponsors that they're going to. Are you okay with that? Excuse me, why are you all wearing masks? Do you have any comment on that? Why are you hiding your identity? Do you have any shame, sir? There's still time to redeem yourself. Would you like to see the footage that we caught of the girl and what's going on? Were their IDs even checked just there? Were their IDs even just checked? Who checked their IDs? I didn't see any ID check just there. There was no ID check. Right. Why weren't their IDs checked? If I was going to go here...
I can't talk to you about that.
I'm going to ask you, why do you guys ID American citizens when those children can't do you guys an ID them?
I'm not going to say anything on camera.
Are a lot of the kids coming over here, are they trafficked or like what's the...
Some are. I'm not gonna lie. Some are.
Does that happen a lot that the kids come over here with a totally fake name?
It has.
Yeah?
I mean, there's no way for us to verify.
And so they come over here with a fake name, and then they just come up with one. They just get a brand new identity. They could be anybody.
Have you seen the movie?
Sound of Freedom?
Yeah, Sound of Freedom.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Exactly like that. Shit happens.
You guys get the kids coming over here with the notes that are attached to them with the addresses, right? And a lot of times those addresses lead to like a sex trafficker or something, right? That's legit.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit that we can't tell.
What's the issue though? Why can't you guys talk on camera?
It's the policies that we have, the things that we can and can't say.
But why don't they want you talking on camera?
Politics.
Politics. What, like making the administration look bad? Or?
Yeah.
Damn.
Honestly, though, I really wish there was more people like you.
Yeah.
Exposing this shit.
Yeah.
Because it sucks. It truly is a horrible thing.
Yeah.
It is a horrible thing. But me, I can't do that.
You could blow the whistle on it.
No, I can't.
You could, but you're going to lose your job.
Yeah, exactly.
You work for MVM, and MVM is an organization that has moved thousands.
I don't work for you.
You do not work for MVM?
I'm on vacation.
We've now landed in Houston, and it appears as if MVM has requested a police escort because they don't want media exposing what they're doing. But if you look, they have all of the kids wearing masks and they have them keeping their head down. All of the kids wearing masks, keeping their head down. They're telling them to hide their face. Many of these kids go missing. You said that you were on vacation and now you're moving this small child to the airport. I thought you were on vacation. Ma'am, I thought you were on vacation. What happened to that? Do you have any comment about children that have gone missing that you've helped to escort across the country?
Child sex workers fully booked at Davos. World Health Insider says thousands of children have been flown into the World Economic Forum under cover of darkness for Global Elite's annual summit in the Swiss Alps resort at Davos, according to the World Economic Forum insider, who reveals the horrific scale of the elite's chosen voice. Dozens of jets have been turned into child escort carriers to traffic the children across borders and into the Viper's Den, according to sources familiar with the matter. None of these children have passports, and majority of them do not have any form of identification. Their past is unknown, and their future does not bear thinking about. When we have been warning the world about the child trafficking industry for years. During this time, the elites have been hiding in plain sight and furthering their plan to normalize normalize and finally legalize PDF files, being a PDF file. This evil cannot be allowed to continue. We need to help dismantle a 90,000-year-old Satan worshiping PDF file cult.
The cover of darkness for the Global Elite's annual summit in the Swiss Alpine resort of Davos, according to World Economic Forum insiders, who reveal the horrific scale of the elite's chosen vice. Dozens of private jets have been turned into child escort carriers to traffic the children across borders and into the Viper's Den, according to sources familiar with the matter. None of these children have passports, and the majority of them don't have any form of identification. Their past is unknown, and their future does not bear thinking about. We've been warning the world about the child sex trafficking industry for some years. During this time, the elites have been hiding in plain sight and furthering their plan to normalise and finally legalise paedophilia. This evil can't be allowed to continue. We need your help dismantling a 9,000-year-old Satan-worshipping paedophile cult. Before we dive in, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join the People's Voice Locals community to join our incredible community, support the channel, and gain access to exclusive and uncensored content. Satanic rituals have become traditional at the opening of Davos summits, and the elite are becoming increasingly shameless when it comes to rubbing our faces in it.
Na hanuri no yuwa na wa shina vu panke tu shina shava aqui shina mu kikirani tsai shava kirani tsai mu kikirani.
The theme this year is rebuilding trusts, and will be attended by 3,000 guests, including many of the most notorious members of the cabal. But when they descend on the exclusive Globalist Summit, attendees do more than just discuss global conflicts, the economy, technology, and how they can enslave the human race and usher in a new world order. They also bond and build bridges with one another at A-list soirees and parties. In fact, according to an insider, these parties are the most important part of the whole summit. We already know what happens out in the open. It's all cocaine, champagne, caviar, and fine cuts of meat, while the elite plot how to ban the rest of us from consuming anything other than bugs, insects, and recycled toilet water. It's bunga bunga according to the mainstream media. But in reality, the situation is much darker. Much, much darker. Demand for sex work skyrockets each year at the meeting of world leaders and business tycoons who jet in from all around the world to rub shoulders with each other. But what the media won't tell you is that the majority of these sex workers are underage, and many of them are extremely young. It is said that over 1,000 private jet flights arrived and departed airports serving Davos in January, and approximately 12 of these were packed with underage children being trafficked. According to the sick and twisted minds in the corridors of power in Davos, age of consent laws have no place in an enlightened society because they discriminate against a child's right to choose to have sex with adults. After this quick break, we'll expose the next step in the elite's plan to legalise paedophilia and destroy the nuclear family. But first, an important word from our sponsor. The People's Voice has exploded in popularity this past year, gaining over 50 million views and counting, as the fast people themselves, children. Klaus Schwab's young global leaders are systematically attempting to normalise paedophilia and decriminalise sex with children, and they're now so arrogant, they're no longer even trying to hide it. Jacinda Ardern is now a full-time WF employee, but during her time as Prime Minister of New Zealand, a judge declared that 12-year-old children can consent to sexual intercourse with adults. No need to hit rewind, you heard me correctly. The case in question featured a 45-year-old man whose defence centred on the claim that his 12-year-old victim wanted it. According to the middle-aged man, the 12-year-old girl pressured him for sex. Disturbing times in New Zealand, but are you surprised? We're talking about a far-left authoritarian state, led by young global leader Jacinda Ardern, where citizens are being told to put their total trust in government.
We will continue to be your single source of truth. We will provide information frequently. We will share everything we can, everything else you see, a grain of salt.
New Zealand has fallen, but they're not the only ones. President Macron's French government voted against having an age of consent in France in 2018. Becoming the first nation to give in to pressure from an international cabal determined to decriminalise sex with children across the world. This means federal law in France has no legal age of consent, and adults who have sex with children of any age will not be prosecuted for rape if the child victim is unable to prove violence, threats, duress, or surprise. Is it any coincidence that Macron is another WF young global leader, who just so happened to be groomed by a much older woman while he was an underage boy at school? Russian President Vladimir Putin warned us years ago that the global elite plan to normalise paedophilia in the West. According to Putin, the global elite engage in Satan worship. Do as thou wilt is their motto. It appears he was correct. The attempt to normalise paedophilia has been playing out before our very eyes for years. And who better to desensitise the masses than the mainstream media and their favourite stars? Oprah and her stable of paedophile friends have been taking every opportunity to quietly undermine traditional family values for years now.
So this is what so many people don't understand. A big part of the confusion and shame for child victims is that the attention and the seduction from the predator, who is probably going to be somebody you know.
Right.
In order for it to work, it has to be somebody you know, somebody you admire, somebody you respect, or maybe even love. And it feels good. I mean, If you're 7 years old and somebody, which I was trying to say this to my friends who had children, you're 7 years old and someone is stroking your penis, it feels good. Right. Even though you don't have a name for what that is, it feels good. And when I first said this years ago, people were like, you're crazy, because everybody wants to believe it's like sexual assault and you're being thrown up against the wall and you're being raped. And I have said for years, if the abuser is any good, you won't even know it's happened. You will be in it and you won't even know it's happened. And if the abuser is any good, he or she is going to make you feel like you're a part of it.
According to Bill Maher, a relationship between a 30-something and 12-year-old child is totally fine, and society should stop being so uptight. But the elite are not stopping at age of consent laws. They're now laying the groundwork to take away the natural right of parents to raise their own children. Hillary Clinton once said that it takes a village to raise a child, and the global elite are taking this concept even further. A World Economic Forum professor has declared that parents will soon need to obtain a license from the government in order to raise their own children. According to the professor, parents will need to prove that they accept the radical pro-paedophilia and transgender agenda before being granted a license. In his paper, The Kids Aren't All Right, Expanding the Role of the State in Parenting, the WF official argues, individuals have no right to rear their biological children, nor do they have any interest weighty enough to justify a right to rear children generally. Since these rights don't exist, regulated parenting policies can't be said to jeopardize them. This is just another evil policy pushed by the globalist elite on unsuspecting citizens of Western countries. If you're wondering how any adult could possibly bring themselves to argue that laws against paedophilia infringe on the rights of children, or that parents don't have the natural right to raise their own children, then you must remember that to the global elite, bad equals good. We've now reached the stage of their master plan where they're rubbing our faces in it. It's time to dismantle this 9,000-year-old Satan-worshipping paedophile cult, one guilty verdict after another. Here at The People's Voice, we're determined to continue exposing the elite, but we can't do it.
You see, it's a whole lot. These are all policies that Trump is like, he's dismantling. Like, all of this shit finna stop. It's all 5 of these. Child trafficking is not a conspiracy theory. It's actually a thing that we're actually actively trying to stop. But nobody really talks about that. Now, that's 4. We had taxes on terrorists. Taxes over terrorists, making America healthy again, Department of Government Efficiency, and child trafficking. Now for the 5th one, it's DEI. 61% of the federal employees identify as white, and only 18.2% of federal employees identify as black. Now, this part of it is going to be a reaction, and we're going to react to a successful black entrepreneur, Anton Daniels, he going to talk about federal workers mad being that they got to return back to work, and black people angry about the Trump DEI rollback. So this portion of it, we're going to be reacting.
Revoking the Equal Opportunity Act and diversity, equity, and inclusion. So we're going to address both of those. And then tomorrow we're going to address birthright citizenship. And then on the Millionaire Morning Show, I'm about to head into the office right now. And then we're going to have a conversation. So let's address the first one, all right? Let's address returning back into the office, okay? I personally have found that most people are lazy. They'll make excuses and say, oh, no, that's because I'm actually more productive at home than I am going into the office because I can save time in my commute. And they say all of this other stuff, right? And let's just really put it in perspective. because we keep complaining about other people coming over here and outworking us and opportunities, and it's because they're willing to do the things that you're not willing to do to be successful. That's just the honest to God truth. The reality is that working from home, I'm not against it. I've done it, but I've been able to negotiate it in the past when I was working in corporate America, because they recruited me and not the other way around. You get what you negotiate, not necessarily what you think you deserve. If you were in a position to be able to say, well, I'm better off working from home and I'm more productive, then you would be the director. You would be the manager. You would be the boss. You would be the president of the United States of America. But you don't get to see the metrics. You don't get to see the numbers. You don't get to see the data. And I will admit that there are some other ulterior motives that go along with it. Like, for example, we need to fill up these office spaces and get people out and spending the dollars and stuff like that. But actually, there are some other benefits if you're looking at it from a glass half full perspective. You then are healthier, you have better relationships, it's an opportunity for you to network, you can then make more money. It's an opportunity also for you to be able to move up the corporate ladder if you want to make more money. You can then look at the different business opportunities and engage in society. And so there's pros and cons to everything. But the point that I'm trying to make to you guys is that is a added extra benefit and blessing. That is not something that you're automatically entitled to. And when you allow for people to do something for so long, even though that's not what they were doing prior to the pandemic, they get used to it, they expect it, they think that's a part of their cultural norm, and then they just adopt that into their mentality, and then they start to feel entitled to doing it just because they've been doing it for a long time. The reality is this: it is a blessing, it is a benefit. If it's not something that you negotiated as a part of your package prior to you entering the workforce or entering that particular job, but it was something that you transitioned into, then it is an added benefit. It is not an expectation. You should not have adjusted your lifestyle to what you thought your norm was going to be. You should have made sure that you adjusted for and just benefited from it, but didn't expect it. It's almost like low expectations, but then at the same time, I just take advantage of the opportunities that's afforded to me. When I joined back into corporate America before retiring, before the end of last year, or at the end of last year, 2024, when I rejoined corporate America because I got a great opportunity from a networking thing that I did prior to going back into corporate America, and then I wound up working in tech and a bank in UX UI, that was a part of the negotiation. Hey, I only expect to be here for a year and a half. I want to get you guys up and running. I'm doing this as a favor, but you guys are going to pay me crazy. I wound up staying for a while because they just kept incentivizing me to stay. And then my expectation was to leave, definitively leave, because I didn't want to move over into a different division that they were then requiring me to come back into the office. I made a decision.
I get all that. Listen, I understand he getting into his story and all. I get all that, but let's script the fat from the meat, man. Let's just get to it. Strictly, why would we be okay with our federal government employees that's supposed to be working for us? Why do they get to sit home and work, and we got to get up and go and slave, and they supposed to be working for us? No, get your ass up and take your ass in the office and go to work. Go to work. Things will be done more efficiently when you have actual bodies in the office getting it done. You get what I'm saying? It's just simple as that. It's just simple as that. It's just simple as that. Again, we're not talking about privileges. Everything that the people on the left is complaining about are privileges and special rights and just trying to get extra added benefits for who you lay in the bed with. Like, that doesn't matter. It's not important. I'm not talking about privileges. I'm talking about things that actually benefit the entire United States citizenship. Us as citizens, like all of us. But simple as that. I understand he going to his story and all, but just simple as that. Get your ass up and go to work. You ain't gonna be sitting in the house, sitting at home while we getting up and going to work every morning, missing time from our family, and y'all supposed to be working for us. No,
said, no, it's not conducive for me to move over into this place, not just because I didn't want to go back into the office, because that would, if I wasn't doing anything else, if I wasn't doing content creation, if I wasn't building houses, if I didn't run my own companies, then yes, I would go back in because it's great. It's awesome. I actually love corporate America. You know what I'm saying? And I know that some people don't, and that's a preference. But the reason that I didn't is because I had so many other things going on. But then in addition to that, I didn't want to have any more exposure to corporate America, considering that I had so much visibility and I've grown so much over the last 3 years in content creation. It was clashing. I was starting to get noticed in corporate America, and it just wasn't worth it. You know, it just didn't make sense. But I invested my own money into rebuilding my own studio, my own office space. I'm expanding my own office space, and I personally go into the job, even though I can do what I do remotely. I've been doing it over the last 2 months while my studio is being redesigned and updated. I can do that from home. However, I am much more productive. I'm better at what I do, and I create a better product in this work environment. And even the people that work for me, I don't require them to come into the office, but a lot of times they do because, you know, it's conducive for what we're trying to do depending on what the time of the year is and so on and so forth. So all I'm saying is you need to adjust your expectations to what you signed up for in the beginning, and then just take advantage of the opportunities that you have if you have the opportunity to be able to work from home. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about is this diversity, equity, and inclusion that everybody worrying about. It's a very simple concept to me. If you have
let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Why people so mad about this?
Have to worry about diversity, equity, and inclusion in order to keep your job, then that means you're not good enough to have it in the first place. Let me say it again for the people in the back. Employers don't care about your color. They care about if you're a cultural fit, if you add value, and if you are going to be a team player going forward and you add value.
Adding value is also a determination of how you get paid also. You're not paid because of what you think you deserve. You're paid based off the value you bring to the company. So a raise is based off of the value system. You got to bring value, which means you got to be present. You got to be there, which means it ain't about you being there because you a certain color or race or gender or non-gender, but because you actually are good at what you do and you add a certain value to the job.
Value into the organization. They don't care about your color. They may care about if you're a cultural fit. That may be you a chatty patty, you talk too much, you're a gossiper, you may smell bad, your hair may be wild, you may make people uncomfortable. That's the conversation of a cultural fit. But they do not care about all of this other diversity, equity, and inclusion bullcrap. What I found is that in our hiring practices and the people that I have conversations with and all of that, so on and so forth, it's crazy. If you look at the Detroit River, I don't know if y'all can see that, Canada and all of that, it looked crazy. All of that is frozen because it's so cold outside. But people care about whether you are good at what you do. And so if you are only keeping your job because somebody said, yo, diversity, equity, and inclusion, we're required to keep you. Or if you only got your job because you beat somebody out based off of what you look like and not the value that you add to the organization, and you was going to be in trouble anyway. You're probably not a good fit. You probably lose the company money. You're probably not good for the culture and the environment. And so you're going to have to work on yourself instead of worrying about whether or not everybody else should accept you for who you are. It's just the reality. People that's getting it, people that have value, people that add value, people that's great at what they do, people that's well educated, and they leverage their education and their networking to continue to win, and they do a good job, and they continue to level up and learn new skills and things like that. They don't care. They don't care. They genuinely don't care. And so when I see people whining about it, it tells me who they are as a person, not the organization that they work for, if they even work for an organization at all. Some of the people that I see complaining online, they don't even work for any corporate entity at all. Some of y'all.
Facts. What the hell is y'all mad at? Half of this shit don't even affect none of you. Y'all ain't got no corporate positions. Y'all niggas work at McDonald's, Burger King, Walmart, call centers, like what the strip clubs, which ain't nothing wrong with that. We love the strippers. You know what I'm saying? We love the McDonald's workers. We love the call center workers. Because I know y'all job be hard as fuck. Y'all got to deal with retarded people on the phone all the time. Like, but half of this stuff don't even affect y'all, and y'all just act like y'all so outraged about what? About what? Really? Still got nothing to do with you. If not minding your business was people.
Y'all is just stay-at-home baby mamas, or y'all living off of the federal government, and you still whining about your circumstance. So I don't understand it. I don't get it. People that's getting it is gonna get it, and people that don't. You gotta stop complaining and worrying about identity politics. And if identity politics you feel like is playing a role in a position that you in, or the job that you at, then you probably need to find another position anyway. Why would you want to work for an organization that depends on diversity, equity, and inclusion anyway? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you go on these interviews, you are interviewing them just as much as they are interviewing you. You should be interviewing them, and the conversation should be 50-50, 60-40, something like that, in which I'm controlling the conversation and asking them more questions about cultural fit and whether it makes sense for me to work there, just as much as they're trying to figure out whether or not I qualify for the job and I'm a cultural fit. So you got to change your mentality. Success.
And then it's like, I personally, look at me. I got tattoos on my face and all, like everything, like dreads. Like, you think every time I went to a job that I walked in that job and I was worried about being getting a job because on my skin complexion, you would think that I would feel scared because of the way I look. No, because I know that I add value to a job, because I do research on, especially if I ain't never worked there before, I do research on the job. I figure out what, you know what I'm saying? I do what I got to do to learn this motherfucker quick, fast, in a hurry with minimal assistance and try to get it, you know what I'm saying? I've done that. I've never went into a job in fear of how I look, so I should feel like I need DEI. No, I know, okay, boom, I'm in the workforce, nigga, don't be a nigga and motherfucking nigga work. Be good at your job. That's it. With that mentality that people have of that, the weak mentality is weak. It's like, I don't want you to judge me if I'm not good enough. I still want the position and want to have access to the position and pay as somebody who is overqualified or really experienced in the position. I don't want to be judged off of my skill. I want to be given the job because whatever reason. No, just be good at whatever you doing, and you ain't got to worry about no DEI.
First comes from mentality. Everything is how you see things. Everything is how you think. Everything is visibility. It's not always about you. And contrary to popular belief, nobody cares about you enough to try to discriminate against you. And if they do, why would you want to be a part of that organization in the first place? That's all I'm asking. Why would you want to be a part of an entity that doesn't serve you?
Great question.
Think about it. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm about to head in.
Shout out to my boy Anton, man. You feel me? That was dope. That was dope. On God now. But yeah, y'all, those is my 5. My fault, y'all. Those is my 5 top reasons why I support Trump. It ain't none of it got nothing to do with all that extra privilege ass shit. People want to be privileged, and that's the only thing they worrying about. We got real problems, real situations going on in this country that need to be dealt with. And I didn't even touch the full surface on 90% of the stuff. I just need to give 5 reasons. One, that benefit everybody. And 2, that ain't about being privileged. None of that extra privilege stuff. It's just stuff that matters for real. So when I see all these people whining and crying and they doing all this fake outrage, and it just shows me you have no knowledge of what's going on. You watching tethers try to tell you how black you supposed to be when these people is only black when it benefits them. They not FBA black, Foundational Black Americans, freedmen. They not them. They immigrants, legal immigrants, but they from other places, but they black too. So skin color. So you know, all skin folk ain't your kinfolk. Stop being misled. Stop being so weak-minded, thinking that you a victim. You ain't no victim. You a victorious, nigga. Motherfuckers survive so much, still here, thriving, pushing cultures forward. Everybody builds off the backs of the black community. Everybody got to come to the black community in order to be something. So why we got this victim mentality when we can really understand it's time. Step away from that plantation for real and start trying to really learn financial literacy, learn credit, learn things. Learn things that you wasn't taught, that you know at your big old age now that you really should have learned that could have benefited you. Learn that to teach the children that. Like it's time. It's time to be self-sufficient. It's time to stand up and really hold the mirror, the person in the mirror accountable for the things that's going on in our community. Simple as that. But thank y'all for tuning into this live stream tonight. It's been a minute, man. It felt good kicking it with y'all, man. But till next time, I'm out.
Made it out the slums, you a slumlord.
Waukesha take off on a flight, slimy and muddy, that's just what I like. I be sipping on mud.